Hi, my name is Isabel Rothy, a financial advisor at Desert Wealth Management, and welcome back to the Financial Wealth and Health Podcast. It's my goal to help next generation, pre-retired, and retired investors work toward financial freedom. We focus so much on financial health on this podcast because I truly believe that in order to become financially wealthy and financially free, you need to be financially healthy first. Let's grow our financial wealth and health together. In today's podcast episode, we're chatting all about which clients we at Desert Wealth Management work with. I work with my father, Rob Clausen, and we love working with a wide variety of clients. We recently came out with a podcast episode all about frequently asked questions where we do address this topic of who we work with and what services we offer, but we specifically wanted to create another podcast episode for people to go to if they're interested in learning more about the clients we serve, or if they want to learn more about which clients we serve to share with a friend or a family member. So to dive in, I like to share a little bit about the demographics of each of the clients we serve and the specific services that go with that demographic. I hope that this podcast episode is educational. I hope that it's a great resource and that it guides you as you're looking for a financial advisor for you. Let's dive in. One thing my father and I like to say is that we like to work with people who are both entering the workforce and leaving the workforce. We like to work with both bookends of the age spectrum. When we think about people entering the workforce, these are people in their 20s and 30s. They've just graduated college. They're starting their first job. Maybe they've been at their first job for a couple years and they're starting a family or buying their first home. We also like to work with people who are, in their 40s and 50s in that pre-retirement stage where they're saving up a lot of money for retirement and they want guidance on their investment strategies. And then we also work with people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s who are retired and who want guidance on how to make that retirement savings last. So it's kind of the age groups we like to work with. And one of the great things that I love about working with my father is that I'm a young person in my 20s. He's an older gentleman in his 60s, and so between the two of us, we could relate to a lot of different client age groups, and I think that's a wonderful experience to offer to clients. So now that you know the age group we work with, which is essentially all age groups, I want to chat about specific services and specific needs that certain age groups need and that we could help with. So let's actually start with the older population right now. People in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, people who are most likely already retired. What needs can we help them with? Well, I love helping people create budgets in retirement. A lot of people think you need a budget as you're saving for retirement to make sure you're putting away enough money. But when you're retired, you're not saving any more money. You're relying on that income, whether it's from Social Security, whether it's from a IRA, an individual retirement account, your investments, whether it's from a pension if you have that, or different sources of income. Most likely you're either getting a fixed amount or you're getting a distribution from an investment account that's hopefully still growing with the market, but you're taking money out. So how do you make that monthly amount last? We like to walk through with our retired clients how much money they spend each month on mandatory expenses, how much they want to spend on fun expenses, and where they'll source that money. And that could also give us guidance on how to invest that money in a certain way to match up with their risk tolerance needs and their cash flow needs. We also like to help retired clients learn more about Social Security strategies, as well as learning about Medicare benefits, and also talking about what it looks like to have joy in retirement. So of course, we talk about the quantitative data, the numbers, all of that, but we like to really talk with our retired clients about having optimism and having a purpose in retirement. That may mean working at a part-time job to have a passion still when you're retired, or that may mean having enough money to give back to charities and volunteer. Or it could also look like traveling around the country or the world with your family. And so we talk with clients a lot about the qualitative data too, what they want their retirement to look like, and we like to check in with them about their cash flow needs so they could do what they would like to do. So now we're going to transition on to the pre-retirees, people in their 40s, 50s, 60s. They're, 10 to 15 years from retirement. They want to have a great retirement, but they want to make sure they're saving enough now. So some needs that we address is making sure they have effective investment strategies so that they could save enough money, but also take a look at tax education to figure out how we could be effective when it comes to hopefully saving money on taxes. This can take the form of tax loss harvesting or Roth conversions. If those topics don't sound familiar to you, you could definitely reach out to me to ask more questions. But we like to be effective not only in that investment strategy, but also some tax strategies as well. We also like to set up specific saving and spending plans for people in this age category so they can make sure to hit their marks when it comes to saving money for retirement. When you're younger, sometimes you feel like you can't save enough. But when you're older, you have to think about things such as income limits on your Roth IRA and where to save more money after you've maxed out your 401k. And so we really like to take a look at those investment and saving strategies. In this age group, we also take a look at debt payoff strategies to try to pay off any debts before the client enters retirement, if that is what the client needs. So now let's take a look at the younger generation, the next generation investors, people in their 20s, 30s, and early 40s. They want to make great decisions now so that they could have their ideal future down the road. But sometimes there are so many different decisions and choices to make, it can be overwhelming to know which one is the right one. And there's no fully correct way. It depends on each individual person. But some of the needs that we addressed in this category is taking a look at someone's employee benefits package, taking a look at their 401k, their health insurance, their health savings accounts, any life insurance that they may have to help them have guidance in picking items that meet their financial needs and work with their financial life. We like to take a look at their 401k investment options to see if their investments line up with their risk tolerance and their goals. One other need that we address is the need of budgeting. A lot of times people starting out don't know what to do with their salary that comes in. How do they save and spend their money after they pay off their bills? How do they make sure they're saving enough money but also having fun with their money? So we help develop household budgets, not only for people starting off when they're 21, 22, 23, but also when people want to buy their first home or when they have a young family and want to try to manage all the expenses that come with that. We also help give guidance about Roth IRA investments and saving money in non-retirement accounts that may be invested. And so we like to help manage the investments for people of all ages, but also people who are next generation to make sure it's allocated in such a way that they can hopefully live the life that they want to live when they're older. Another area that we like to help next generation investors with is helping save for their children's education accounts. As we know, college costs a lot of money. Private school costs a lot of money. So we like to give guidance when it comes to saving money and or investing that money to help pay for educational needs down the road. We also like to give guidance to grandparents who also want to open up education accounts for their grandchildren. The last need I will address when it comes to the younger category is talking about life insurance. A lot of people are wondering, do I need term insurance or do I need whole life insurance? And when should I sign up for that? And I just had my first child. Do I apply for my own separate policy now? There's a lot of life insurance questions that next generation investors ask, especially as people are starting families. So that's a need that we also address. So now that we've chatted about each individual demographic and specific needs to those demographics, I want to chat about different services and different needs we address that touch on all demographics. And of course, some of these are obvious, but I'll still touch on them as we close this episode. The first one is investment management. Regardless of someone's age, we like to give them investment recommendations and manage their investments to try to make the most of the hard-earned dollars that they work for. And so depending on their age, their time horizon, their cash flow needs, that will modify the portfolio that we recommend to the client. But either way, each demographic we like to help when it comes to investment management. Also, as I touched on before, we very much like to give guidance in household budget creation, understanding how much to save, how much to spend, all of that. It gives a lot of people freedom when it comes to their daily financial choices because they have a plan, they know how much to spend, how much to save, and it takes away any extra guilt or extra anxiousness when it comes to spending. And then the last two areas that we'd like to help people with is estate planning education and tax planning education. We're not attorneys and we are not accountants, but we like to give education and also share resources with people so that they know which individual actions they should take at each age. So those are the clients that we work with, and those are the services that we offer for each individual client. If any of these needs stand out to you, if you realize that you need one of these services, or if you know of a friend or a family member that needs one, please have them reach out to us. We would love to help. Like I said at the beginning of this podcast episode, it's my mission to help people be financially healthy because I truly believe that is the foundation to having financial wealth and freedom. You can't build a solid building on unstable ground. So with that being said, if you would like guidance in your financial health journey, please reach out to me. You could book a free complimentary call with me by clicking the link in the show notes or description box below. My father and I would love to help you in your journey. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.